All right, so let's talk about UI first, right? So yeah, let's do a bit of UI, and then we'll do a bit of JavaScript. I will try to play in mobile mode, which is going to be a bit brave, but I'll do my best. I think, yeah, I'll do my best. It's not going to be easy. All right, so first of all, no, HTML, I don't think this is going to work on mobile, right? No, let me go back to desktop. Sorry, I'll zoom the screen as much as possible. I'll try mobile on with JavaScript. UI is not officially supported on mobile yet. Cool, so let's do, again, a couple of questions. So first of all, question number 1, welcome to Grid. Yeah, classic question. So we got a layout with a couple of columns, same for tablet, right? So there are no media queries involved or anything like that. You know, and the only requirement is 2 columns, some spacing in between, some gaps, some padding, and that's pretty much it. So I think that's fairly simple. So let's build the HTML first. Class or class name?
Class.
Class, because that's not React, right? That's just HTML. Fantastic. And then, oops, what else? So we need a few. Yeah, so any preference for the naming conventions? What do we put here? Container, an item, fine. You can call it wrapper. I think MDN calls it wrapper. That's fine. Item, and what we have. So grid can be very tricky. That's true. So grid. Do you remember the shortcut to quick copy lines, right?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Easy. Oh. So
Is the shift control
if you don't even have to select the line, just put the cursor anywhere in the line, and then if you are a Mac user, it's Option Shift down. If you are a Windows user, it's something Shift down. So grid can be very tricky. All right, so let's talk about CSS. Container display what? Read, correct. So let's start with the simple stuff. So first of all, colors and stuff like that, right? So on the item, dot item, because we want to refer to the class, yeah? Can you see the screen, guys, there, yeah? Cool. Item, then background, color, line. For now. Also, black text, yeah? On the platform, the text by default is white. So color black. And then what else? Well, with an internal gather of 20 pixels. What that means?
Padding.
That's the padding, yeah? That's correct. So padding, 20 pixels. Oh, all right, I cannot zoom it in full screen mode. Right, so what else? Padding 20 pixels. The gap, that's important. The gap between the items set to 10 pixels. So this space. Grid gap. So to me, grid gap is arguably my new favorite property in CSS. And as a side effect, that's the reason why day after day I use grid more and I use flex less. Well, you get the point, right? So grid in my daily efforts, grid is becoming more prominent or more important than less because of grid gap. Because if you try to do that with less, it's a pain in the ass. It's very complicated. You need to deal with margin right, margin left, and then with CSS, remove the padding on or the margin on the last one. It's very tricky, right? With grid, super easy. Grid gap, 10 pixels. Anything else?
Yeah, we need to column, grid template columns.
Grid template columns. Correct. We need to set up the layout, right? Grid template columns is what?
Maybe auto and auto, or 1FR and 1FR.
Yeah, so there are different ways we can do that, right? So first of all, one fragment and one fragment. Yeah, that means there will be 2 elements per row. Also, you can use repeat to 1FR. It's like I think a type of a loop. Yeah. I mean, I personally, when I go something like that, I do this, right? 1FR and 1FR. That's it. Super easy. Anything else? Any font size? Any tricky? Padding. Good point. No, I've done that already. Should this work then? Let's figure it out. Here you go. It works, right? Easy peasy. Any questions? No? All right. So what you did here, guys? So I believe everyone did pretty much the same thing. So I can see Sanjay, Max, Chris, Damiano, triple columns, box sizing, border box. That's not necessary, I believe, but it doesn't harden either. So that's it. So what else? Question number 2. I'm not going to do that. Sorry, I'm too tired for this question today. This is just about aligning stuff, justify content. Yeah, it's all about the same. It's boring.
The only thing I want to say, when I was doing this one, I did everything.
Yeah.
For some reason, when it kept space around, the A, B, and C were in bold. And no matter what I was like refreshing the page or whatever, it wasn't going through.
So all right. So let's have a look. Let's have a look to what Sanjay did. So contain space around. Okay. So do you want me to copy that and see what happened? Oh, such a horrible question. Why I did that? It's just typing like hell, right? Oh, good. So here you go. So let's see what Sanjay did here. Let's see what the issues. Oh, that's fun. Yeah. So it works for the align left and align right. However, with the space around, oh, it's in bold. Why is bold? Oh, wait. So you got some warnings.
Yeah, but it's coming up like that.
That's a bit weird, by the way. That shouldn't look like that. But you got some warnings. So first of all, whenever you get a problem, first of all, let's figure out. So that's, for instance, Sanjay, this is wrong, right? H3, we close the tag.
That's what probably is then. Okay.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. What else? H3. All right, let's try again to see if that made any impact. That works.
Yes.
So you just
one.
one slash, one character. Yeah, you can break a multi-trillion app by typing a wrong character. Yeah? Cool. So what else? Question number 3. Is it good enough? Yeah, it's good.
Almost same. Yeah.
Yeah, but there is some media query here, so I think that's good. Okay, so let's do that, and that's it. So what we'll here? Yeah, I agree with Muntain. So the setup is very similar, but there are a couple of differences. So first of all, the size of the columns is different. Yeah. And then on tablet, the layout looks different, which makes sense because we've got more space, we can allocate all the sexy boxes in the same row. Okay, no problem at all. So once again, div, class, container, div, and then div, class, item, and then we close the div. How many numbers we got? 5? 5, 6? 5 numbers. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, not 41, 3, and 2. So then quickly, div class.container, display grid, and now that's the point. Grid template columns. That's the key of the exercise on mobile at least. Grid template columns. What? That's correct. 1 FR, 2 FR. That's the way of building a layout with grid. How many virtual columns do we have? 3, that's correct. We got 3 virtual columns. The first one will span 1 out of 3. It's 1/3. The second one will span 2 out of 3 fragments or logical units. So in total we got 3. And I hope you agree with me, the second one will be double size compared to the first one. Yeah. So what else? There are some padding stuff like that, right? External padding of 10 pixels. What that means? External padding of 10 pixels. Grid gap. That's correct. On the container, right? Grid gap, 10 pixels. And the font size. All right. Font size 25 pixels. Maroon or maroon. How do you pronounce that? Maroon, it's a weird color, right? So always learning something new at Codery, guys. Background color. Should we add the background color to the item or to the container? Why?
Yeah,
If you add it to the container,
it's black.
yeah, these lines, these gaps won't be visible, right? Because they would belong to the container. So we only want to apply the background color to the element itself, to the items. So, is that enough for, even though that's not okay on tablet yet, but is that enough for mobile? Maybe. Let's try. Let's see if it works on
There should
mobile.
be some padding.
Padding, yeah, probably missing some paddings, right?
Because it says internal.
Yeah.
context.
Oh, that looks
Should
super
be-
horrible, right? Yeah, correct.
Both should be 10 pixels.
Yes, you are right, Montaigne. Internal and external. Fair enough. So, on the item, we got padding 10 pixels. Wrong indentation on lane number 1. What the hell is that? What?
There should-
Wrong indentation, HTML line 1. That does that make any sense to you guys? Where is the wrong indentation? I cannot spot that. That's a bit weird. I need to check the logs. I don't know why we are getting that warning. Anyway, let's test again. Let's see if it works on mobile. Oh, and now there are no related issues. That's a bit weird. But anyway, so what's the problem now? The alignment. That's correct, yeah? You see, if we inspect the div, how do we align text to the middle? Text align. What's the value?
Center.
Don't get confused with middle. All developers get confused with between center and middle, and not because they are old. Well, that may not help neither. That's because when you created tables in the 90s, the tables are aligned using middle instead of center.
But I think now there is no value with middle.
There is
All the things are centered. I mean, justify
No.
content centered. Align items
That's
centered,
true. That's
all
true.
rows
But
centered.
tables still use middle.
Ah,
So if you've been creating tables for 20 years,
okay.
all right. So is it okay for mobile? Yes. So mobile is correct. So now the problem is on.
This screen text.
Yeah. So on tablets, right? So remember to add a media query. Yeah. So if you don't remember how to add a media query, you go to Google, CSS media queries, W3 schools, and then you see the syntax. Hopefully, if I can zoom that. Here you go. I cannot zoom anymore. Oh God. Here you go. Yeah. Syntax. Only screen. This is thinking whether you want to apply the media query if you print the page or not. Things like that, right? It's not very important, to be honest. So let me copy that for now. And media query. Each resolution.
Be minimum
500. But should it be min or max width?
min.
Min. Yeah? Because that's thinking on mobile. Yes? In other words, we are doing mobile first development, which is great. Yeah? So our default scenario is mobile. But then, if the user goes beyond the size of a mobile phone, so then let's change something. So what do we change here? Container, yeah? Then what? Read template columns, and then what? That's correct.
Yeah. 5 columns.
Something like that, right? A bit weird, but hey, it's what it is. All right, so you see? So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. That means how many virtual columns do we have now? How many?
7.
7. 1 plus 2, 3 plus 1, 4 plus 2, 6 plus 1, 7. Out of 7, the first one will be 1/7, the second one will be 2/7, and so on, right? All right, so I think that API is very clever. I really like it. See if it works. It does work. Cool, confetti time. Cool. Any questions?
Is there any way to do that with repeat?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't think so, because repeat makes sense when you want to repeat it across multiple rows, but you don't want to repeat anything here. No. What's the repetition criteria? 1, 2? No, it's not 1, 2, because 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Looks like you cannot, I mean,
You repeat two
you repeat,
times and then add one.
maybe there is a command. To be completely honest with you, I don't know. I don't know if there is a command to do that. Let me see if anyone found a sexy way of dealing with the problem. So, wait. So, that's important for Damiano. Look. So, that's unnecessary. So, you know how to create container 1, container 2, container 3. Actually, that's a different question. Sorry, ignore me, Damiano. Sorry about that. I was on the wrong question. All right, so Max. Yeah, the same thing. I mean, I believe everyone did the same thing, right? So, cool.
If you want, you can type just media.
You can type what? Yes, media. All right, yeah. So you want to simplify that, right?
Yes.
So you want to do that?
Yes, like this.
Okay. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I like that. You're right, Simon. Yeah, even simpler, right? Cool. Awesome. Any questions, guys, on UI?
Oh wait, so for media queries, you can just do at media
Yeah.
instead of the whole like screen.
Yeah. You don't need that. You don't need that.
Oh, it's so
So it's like with the media all.
I think so. Yeah. Because you are not excluding any circumstance. Yeah. All right, guys. So let's leave UI here. And let's quickly go to JavaScript. Once again, I would like to solve a couple of questions on JavaScript Expert. So, what we got today? JavaScript. Actually, let me try to do it on mobile. This is going to be a bit crazy. Not like that. Maybe on the other way around, right? All right. So let's see if that works. Probably you don't want to do all this coding using your smartphone, but all right. So, yep. Question number 1. Calculate total. I think we did that already, right? We already talked about recursion. Yeah? That question is on YouTube, so I'm not going to do it again. So question number 2. I think we haven't done that yet.
Gideon kind of went over this.
Gideon
question on
did.
his
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool then. Let's skip it. That's very simple. Let me do something a bit more complicated, guys. I like this one. That's a good question. That's a typical expert question, where it's easy to understand. The problem we're trying to solve is relatively easy, yes, sorting, yeah. Then it becomes a nightmare to solve, and then once you understand how to solve it, it becomes a piece of cake again, yeah. So it goes back to the original shape or the original feeling. So this is all about dividing and conquer, yeah? Dividing the problem into smaller chunks and then cover these chunks individually. All right. Where is my code? Oh, that's a bit weird. Right, I'll try to do some coding. Let's see if that works. Cool. So, function sort by modulus. And then we've got a number. So, well, for sure, the first thing. Can you see the screen, guys? Yeah. So, return number. I want to convert it to string. That's the first thing, right? Because I want to loop. I want to access each individual digit. So, to string. And now, so let's make sure we all understand what the problem is. So, we got a number. And we want to return another number sorted. But it's not as simple as sorting a number, because we want to first of all display the odd numbers, 1, 3, and 5, and then display the even numbers, all sorted ascendingly, from the smallest to the largest one. Yeah, that's the idea. So I'm going to use, at this stage of the journey, I got an array of individual numbers represented as, no, sorry, I don't have an array yet. I don't have an array yet. I have a number, correct. So now, split, now I have a number, an array of numbers that are strings. Yeah. So now I'd like to do something very sexy. Let me see how powerful reduce is to sort, probably not completely, but at least partially the problem. So I'm already regretting of returning everything because I'm unable. I could solve everything in one go, to be honest, everything in the reduce, but the code will look a bit weird. So for readability purposes, I'm going to create a variable. For now, I'll call it foo. Yeah, we'll see how to rename it in a minute. And then I like to do something with foo. So what's my plan here? I want to create two groups. I want to create two arrays. One for even numbers, one for odd numbers. Once I have the two arrays, I hope you agree with me, it will be much easier to sort the numbers and to concat them and things like that, yeah? But let's build two numbers. So let me call it modulus groups, yeah, depending on the modulus, yeah, or the reminder, however you prefer. So then, this is my variable. Then I got my number. How would you call your number here? Number? Digit number? I don't like that. Num? No, I don't like that. If I call it number, that's the point, Nico. So if I call it number or digit, I may easily forget I'm not dealing with pure numbers. So if I have to apply any mathematical operation, I may miserably fail, right? So just to keep that in mind, I'm going to call it string digit. Digit. If I call it number, I may be thinking I got number 71, right? No, I got a single number. String digit, all right. And now, regardless of what magic I do here, I'll probably leave that for later on. What's the default value of modulus groups? Look at how sexy this default value is. You see? My default value is an object with two collections. I want to fill the collection of even numbers, and I want to fill the collection of odd numbers. Can we say that in English? Evens and odds? Yeah? Okay, cool. So then even easier from a grammar point of view. Cool. So we got that there. And now, it's getting easier, right? How do we fill these baskets? But, we can just simply check. How do we know if a string digit is odd or even? Modulus 2, correct, Joshua. So we can do return, no, not return. So if, for now, yeah, let's start easy. If string digit modulus 2 equal, or no, like that, right? So is that odd or even?
Even.
So Joshua said it's even.
Oh no, it's going to create, even if it's even, it will make 0, which is falsy, right? Is it? Is 0 falsy?
I don't know.
Maybe that's odd then, no?
If modulus 2 is true,
Condition.
we've got an even number.
It's even.
All right, so let's do a poll. So there are two blocks, right? This is Cold War, America versus Soviet Union. So we got in one group, we got Joshua, and we got Simon. Simon is S set or set
Yeah,
S?
like
Ah. So it's okay, sorted alphabetically. Cool. So they say the number is even here, right?
Yes.
I agree with them.
And you agree. So Max. Who else? Sarah.
I think it's the opposite, but I'm not very sure.
No. Listen. It's worth trying, right? What are your thoughts, guys? Here. Who said odd? Who is that? Johnny? Do you think you are Johnny? Or you think? Cool. Right. 3 versus 2. Actually, that's a weird way of mixing things, right? So Sarah and Johnny. Who else?
I think it's even.
So Muntain
And Nico.
and Nico. Who else? Sanjay, Clarissa, Gideon, Steffi, Cam. Who said odd? Who is that? Clarissa?
Just as because you felt bad for our group for not having many people in it.
All right. Who else?
I reckon even.
So, who's that? Gideon? All right. So, out of that list of people, or if you haven't participated, if you are fully convinced you are right, it happened, right? Some people I think maybe, but I'm sure few of you clearly know the answer. Can you please convince the other group they are wrong?
If you said even, can you explain why you think it's even?
Say again?
If you, for everyone who said even, why do you think it's even? Can you just explain it?
Because the straight digit modulo 2 is if it's equal 0 is even.
So it's not,
Sorry,
when you
so
divide, there is no
you're saying-
remainder.
Sorry, wait, Simon, can you just say that again?
Is this
So if you put,
If
on, say it.
STL digit modulo 2 is equal 0
But wait a minute, aren't they all
Is-
strings anyway?
is even.
Wait, aren't they all strings?
Yeah.
So if you put string modulus 2,
All right. Let's simplify that. Let's convert that. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, now it's
Okay, now it's number.
okay.
So
I
do.
thought, oh, maybe it's a trick.
Okay. No. Okay. I didn't want to go that far. That was my fault, guys. So
Alright.
if a number, yeah, like that. Does anyone want to change their mind?
Okay, I want to change my mind, and I'll tell you why.
Because 0 is truthy. That means
Yeah, well, 0 is falsy.
Falsy, exactly.
0 is falsy.
I didn't
So
know
an
that.
even number will give us a falsy answer, and therefore makes it, we get an odd response.
Yeah.
And an odd number will give a truthy answer, and it should go to else.
So Max is joining the ladies and Johnny, right? Anyone else wants to jump to the other side? You can change your mind as well, eh?
No, I'm just like this. To me, it's just fun.
Okay, but that's the question still remains. I want anybody, because the thing is, I'll tell you something. At the moment, no one gets a job.
Oh, man.
Some of you got the right answer, but nobody managed to explain why.
Oh, I can explain.
Okay, go for it.
I just feel like I was talking too much. Okay, so if you, for example, pass an odd number in, like 5 modulus 2, what's the remainder?
1.
What is 1 a truthy or a falsy value? So then, if truthy, which it is, so that would be odd. If an even number gets passed in modulus 2, it equals 0, 0 is falsy, therefore it's not going to pass that condition and move on to the else. Does that make sense?
But what we're trying to compute though, so if in the first block we were trying to compute odd numbers, that would make sense. If we're trying to compute even numbers, then that's wrong logic. So it all depends on where you're using the logic or actual. So if you're saying after the first condition, if it's truthy and not compute odd numbers, then I agree with you. If you start saying we're going to compute even numbers, then it makes sense.
Well, here you can see why Sarah was one of the 16 people selected by Sky, right, to go to the next round, because she gave a really good reason, and she's right. She's right. So if the number is 5, 5 modulus 2 is 1. You agree with that? Is 1 truthy or falsy? In other words, if I do that,
It's true.
it's truthy. Yeah? However, if a string digit is 4, what's the remainder? 0. Is 0 truthy or falsy? Falsy. Yeah. So, yeah. So essentially, here you got an odd number. All right. So because we all know that, let's fill the basket of odd numbers. Well, we can simply push the string digit. Do we want to push the number or the string number? I don't know yet. And because I don't know yet, when you don't know something, keep it as simple as possible. Yeah? Let's keep working with string digits. Likewise, actually that's wrong, right? That's not modulus groups. Modulus groups dot what? Odds, correct. And dot evens, yeah? We're filling the baskets. All right, is this, I don't know why there is this space here, we cannot see anything, but out of what you can see, regarding the reduce loop, is there anything else we need to do?
Initialize to 0.
Initialize? No.
No,
Why to 0?
taken
No.
empty array.
This is
Object.
our initial value. So do you think the reduce statement is right?
We need to return.
Oh, yes, you're right, Nico. Remember, reduce, pass to the accumulator whatever the previous iteration returned. What is our reduce loop returning on each iteration? Nothing. So that's not going to work. So let's make sure we keep passing the variable on each iteration. Yep. So that's pretty much the idea of the reduced loop. And now, actually, let me go back to desktop mode because there is a lot of, missing space here. I need to check why this is happening. Still, all right. Let me refresh the page. I hope I'm not going to lose anything. Or let me test that, even though that's not going to work, obviously. Let me refresh, guys, to see if I can optimize the space on the screen. The space on the screen. All right, so total, skip, sum, skip, hello, skip. Here we go. Here we are, right? That's it. Much better. Cool. All right. So now, hopefully, if I did it right, here I got something like that. Evens 2, actually 4, 2, 6, odds 3, 1, 9. Yeah. Should look something like that, unless I did something wrong, of course. So now we want to sort these individual arrays. And I think sorting arrays is relatively easy, right? Array.sort, we know how to do that. So let me create a function to sort array. So function sort list. And that function will receive, or sort array if you want, sort array, will receive an array or numbers. No, let's call it array for now. So now we can simply do array.sort. And then what? What do we put in here? Number A and number B, I agree on that. So then, how do we sort it?
Number A minus number B.
So return, not return, so number A minus number B. So that will sort the array how? Ascendingly or descendingly? Ascendingly. That will put the smallest number on top. Yeah, I know that's a bit tricky. That's hard to remember that. The message is, if you put A minus B, is the smallest goes in front. If you put B minus A, the biggest goes in front. You need to remember that. Yeah? But I'm doing something wrong, or at least controversial. Are we talking about numbers? We don't have an array of numbers, guys. We have an array of string numbers. So in other words, I could call that, first of all, string digit A for consistency reasons. You see, with the semantics. I could do that. Or, why don't I simply change my approach and I fill the baskets with pure numbers? Yeah? So then it's a bit easier. So now it's not a string digit. How would you call that variable? Why number suddenly? If we are using digit, That's a classic issue, guys, with junior developers. They keep changing the semantics on every function. Sometimes they call numbers, sometimes they call digits, sometimes they call value. Stick to something. If you are wrong in life, be consistently wrong. It's a good example. If you call it a string digit, correct. That's it. I'm not defending that digit is better than value, but for consistency reasons, let's do that, right? Digit A and digit B, right? And of course, you can then, does it make sense? Let's return the array for now. By the way, you know that short is impure. You remember pure versus impure? Short is modifying the array. In this particular case, I don't care if my array gets modified, but we need to be careful with these things, right? Okay, so then let me rename the function short array to get sorted array. Whenever you return something, maybe that's a bit personal, I always like the method get. Get A, get B, get fruit, get character, get, yeah? Because I'm helping other developers to understand the logic. All right, so now hopefully instead of 4, 2, and 6, we got 2, 4, 6, and then 1, 3, 9. Hopefully, yeah? With numbers, pure numbers. Fantastic. So out of that, I want to return a new array with all the odd numbers first. How can we refer to the odd numbers here?
Indicate
Modulus groups dot odds, modulus groups dot events, something like that. But that's, oh, yes, that's the key, Yoni. If you do that, essentially that's what you are doing, right? You are adding an array inside of another array. You don't want to do that. You want to have a flat array. You know, starting from the end of July of 2019, there is in JavaScript a new method to flat arrays. Array.flat, yeah? It goes without saying the benefit of going to a job interview and proving you know something like that, because no one really knows flat array.flat, yeah? Cool, but we are not going to use that. I would like to use the 3 dots to spread the values. Anything else? No means that will work.
It's up to what we expect to return in our description of our.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Yeah, it has to be number.
Has to be a number. That's a good point, Simon. How do we transform that array of numbers into a number? Join what, Sarah?
Space. Like, yeah, no, sorry, no space. Just empty quotation.
Right?
Exactly.
Anything else? Map? No, no map. Why map? No.
No, we at the beginning
Yeah?
of the line 13,
Yeah?
after letter we can put plus or number.
Correct, because we want to return a number, yeah? Join always returns a string. That's a good point. Anything else? Oh, so the thing is, if I rename that function to hello Brexit, it will create the same result, right? So why did we create that function? We are not using it yet, right? But you can do that. Or you can, if you don't want to make that line more complicated, you can create any variable, let sorted odds. Yeah, and the same thing for the events. oops, I click somewhere, here you go. So now, once you get an array of sorted odds and an array of sorted even numbers, anything else? You can see that's not trivial, right? There is a lot of code here. But if you divide the problem into smaller chunks, it's manageable. Will this work? I have no idea. I didn't test that in months, so let's see if it works. Yes, it does work. Cool. Nice. Yeah, so I think we are running out of time, to be honest. So let me quickly check what you did here. Was question number 4. Oh, that's a bit weird. It's a bit hard to read. What the hell? Let me refresh the page. So now, as you probably have noticed already, now the Visual Studio Editor is wrapping the lines if they cannot allocate it in one single, in the whole space of the line. But yeah, that looks a bit weird. Now it looks a bit better. Yeah, so obviously different styles. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not going to review them all because we can spend hours just checking them, right? But once again, guys, ignoring the implementation details, Sarah, your spacing criteria is a chaos.
What? That's just because it's wrapped it funny.
I don't
It's
care.
like zero.
No.
Got like a good alligator.
No, look, I don't care. Space here, no space there, no space there. Yeah. I'll tell you something. If I have to review one CV or one candidate, I will probably check the quality of the code. But generally speaking, companies don't have to review just your CV. We cannot be that selfish. We're competing against 10 developers. So the first thing I do is indentation right? If the code looks dodgy, even if it works, if I see indentation, weird things, I don't even care about checking anything else. I understand that it's hard to read here, right, because of all the soft wraps and everything. But definitely, things like that, spacing. Yeah, just look after these details, guys. All right, any questions? No? So, right, let's do a quick break of 10 minutes. So grab a coffee or do whatever you need to do. And then let's review team apps and portfolios. And then we can go to the bar.